In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at what is billed as the world's fastest, most efficient, all-condition stove system, the MSR Reactor. We're going to make some coffee with this thing too. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at MSR were kind enough to send me one of their reactor stove systems, and this is a 1.7 liter. What's really cool is they also sent me one of the coffee presses to go with this thing so we can make us some coffee. And we're going to do that right after this word from one of our sponsors. This video is sponsored by my friends at Sportsman's Guide, your one-stop shop for all kinds of gear pertaining to camping, survival, and general preparedness. I've been a customer for Sportsman's Guide for a number of years now. I'm happy to have them as a sponsor for the channel. So there'll be a link in the description below and probably one right up here. I encourage you to check them out. I think you'll be glad you did. Okay, we're back. So real quickly, the MSR Reactor system is one of those self-contained systems that all goes together and it's all one neat system. We'll look at that in just a second. But there are three different sizes. This is the middle size. This is a 1.7 liter. There's also a 1 liter and a 2.5 liter for big groups. This one's recommended for 2 or more. So I'd say, 2 or 3 people, this is probably a really good size for you. So I thought we'd just check this thing out and show you how it sets up, all the different components. Get to boil some water and make some coffee. So without any more rambling, let me take you down the old stump top and let's get to doing some of that stove stuff. Okay, so here is the MSR Reactor 1.7 liter cook system, and it consists of the pot. It's got a lid here that is held on by the handle which folds over, and it's got a little cable tie here that you just pop that off, opens right up, and then the lid itself is held onto the handle by this little rubber lid that's got a little notch in it, and it just pops right out. You can see the little notch there that holds it in place. Then the handle itself flips over like so. And then the lid also has a little plug here if you want to plug that to increase your efficiency when you are boiling water. You can plug that in there like so. And then if you want to leave it open, you can leave it open, which is pretty cool too. So there's that. Has the burner here, which is a pretty high-tech looking burner. If you look at the bottom of it, it's got all kinds of stuff to make it efficient, and a little fold out control here. And then there's also a cleaning cloth / protection pad inside of it, because the inside of this thing has a non-stick coating. So when you're putting everything back together, you want to go ahead and put the pad in first to protect it. And let's go ahead and show you that right now. It's also designed to hold not only the stove in itself, but also a pretty good size 8-ounce ISO Pro or other isobutane canister, and that just goes in like so. So you put your stove in first. You want to take the cap off of this or it's not going to work. This nestles around it like so. Then the lid goes on like so, and it doesn't clamp completely down airtight or watertight, but it's enough to get it in place. So you got your canister in here. This is a self-contained cooking system. So anyway, everything fits together. So that's good. Now let's see how well the sucker works. First, you're going to want to screw your burner onto your gas. Not rocket science there. Just screw it on, and just like so. And then the stove itself, flip out your controller. The stove itself is just going to sit on top here like so once you get it full of water. So it's marked on the inside down there and you can kind of see it vaguely on the outside. If 0.5 liters down there, 1 liter and 1.7 liters. The 1.0 liter is marked as maximum fill, and then 1.7 liters up here. So I guess if you're adding freeze-dried food or whatever, that's going to be your max volume of the container. So we're going to put a liter of water in it. You're going to see how long it takes that to boil. I like the fact this handle kind of is, even though it's spring loaded, it kind of wants to stay, so it's not going to flop around on you when you're dumping, pouring, or whatever. I'm going to fill this thing up and try to put a liter of water in it. We'll see how long it takes it to boil here. And this is not cold wintry conditions, all right? It's about 85 degrees right now, so I'm aware of that. But then we'll make some coffee. So not quite a liter there, a little bit more. Okay, so go ahead and put the plug in the center of the lid for now, just to kind of help maximize the efficiency. Also, I forgot to show you, the lid also has a strainer holes here and a little vent hole on this side, so we're covered there. And I like the fact that this knob is made of silicone or something, so it's not going to be hot on your hands. So just well thought out. We'll put that on there now. And one of the things I like about this, as opposed to some of the other systems, is it sits on here very nicely, but you don't have to lock it in place. So it just sits on top. There's no tabs to line up or anything like that. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Oh, and it doesn't take much. So we'll turn it on and light it up. To singe the hairs on my arms, and I'm trying to see if there's any indication as far. So you can see it's going to start glowing orange, and you can see that it's lit. And look at, I don't know, can you see that? Look inside there. Can you see where it says MSR in there? I don't know if you can or not. That's pretty cool. Anyway, let's put this on. We'll start the timer right now. We're just going to let this thing go. I'll check the time on the video, and I'll put that at the total boil time. So let's let it boil. One thing I noticed is this is extremely quiet. It doesn't have like a big jet engine sound to it. Wow, it's boiling right now. Look at this. Okay, wow, pretty stinking fast. Let's turn it off. I'm gonna make some coffee now. They have this optional French press available, and it comes with an extra plug for the middle of the lid, a push rod, and the press screen. Just going to poke this down through the hole, so to speak. Pull that out. Poke this through the hole here, like that. Screw the screen onto it like this. And then I'm going to take the coffee, which I have. This is actually Colombian coffee from Colombia, because one of my sons went on a mission trip down there a couple months back. About 2 tablespoons. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not, but we're going to try it and see. Just dump it in there. Dump it in there. We'll stir it around. Then as you will in a French press, we'll raise the lid to the top. We'll put it in, put the lid back on. So now we're just going to let it brew for a few minutes. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes now, so I'm not going to mess with it. I'm just going to start pushing it down. And as you can see, let me just raise this up where you can see what we're doing here. As we push the press down into the water, the coffee looks a little weak. We'll press it all the way down though. And then we can pour the coffee from the strainer here. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty weak. Maybe I should have let it steep a little longer. I don't know, maybe not. Let's see how it looks. Kind of weak when you pour it, but it doesn't look really weak in the cup. Give it down, and now it's got to cool off because it's really hot. Not bad. A little weak. A little more coffee would fix that, but got to say, pretty cool system there. One thing I do want to point out is the instructions that came with the coffee press say to remove this center stopper and replace it with this center stopper that came with the coffee press. I took them out. They're both exactly the same. I see no reason to do that, at least on the 1.7 liter here, so I wouldn't fool with that. Just a little word to the wise there. So bottom line, I got to say, I think this is a very impressive system. I was very impressed by the boil time. A couple of features I like about this that I've not seen on competing systems. I like the fact that it's got this fold down handle. It's got enough tension on it so that you can turn your pot upside down and it won't flop around on you, but it also is pretty easy to close. And I like the fact that it closes, because something else I like is that you can store a full 8-ounce canister. So this is like the medium-sized canister. So there's a pretty good bit of fuel in here and the burner, all in one self-contained unit. And when you do that, I like the fact that it has this catch here that allows you to keep it closed, because some of the other systems I've seen, they want to come off. So and also I like that you don't really have to lock this thing in or to any kind of notches. You just sit it on there and it's good to go. I also like the fact that it doesn't sound like a 747 taking off, and it gets the job done. Again, there are 3 sizes: the 1 liter, the 1.7 liter, and the 2.5 liter. I think the 1.7 is a good size for a 1 or 2 person outing. And it's just, man, this thing absolutely works like it is supposed to. And that's always refreshing. So if you're looking for a really very efficient, fast cooking stove system that is going to last you a long, long time, and is going to be very useful and will even make you some coffee, the MSR Reactor might be a really good investment for you. So once again, thanks to the folks at MSR for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for subscribing, thanks for clicking that thumbs up, and thanks for sharing this video with your friends. It really does help. Be sure and check out the list of sponsors in the video description. Many of them have discount codes, and all of them are companies I know and trust. Don't forget, I put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, and sometimes random videos throughout the week. There's another one right there. I really appreciate the support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.